I didn't unlove you all at once. I wish it had been that simple, like flipping a switch or turning a page in a book that no longer felt relevant to the story of who I am. But it wasn't. It wasn't clean or quick or sudden. It was slow. It crept in like dusk, sneaking up on me until one day I realized the light was gone. It was a gradual fading, unnoticed until I looked up and realized that everything I thought I knew about love had begun to slip through my fingers like sand. When I loved you with everything I had. You were the first person I gave all of myself to without hesitation, without fear, without thinking about the consequences. You were the first person I allowed to become my world, to become the center of my universe. And for a while, it felt like the best thing I could have done. The late-night conversations, the way our hands fit together perfectly, the comfort of your voice when it called my name, it felt like the kind of love that would last forever. But that's the funny thing about love. It's not always what you expect it to be. It doesn't always stay the same. And sometimes, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you fight for it, it fades. It didn't happen overnight. In the beginning, there were the signs, small cracks, moments when things didn't feel quite right, but I ignored them. I convinced myself that love wasn't supposed to be easy. It wasn't supposed to feel perfect all the time. But there's a difference between the kind of imperfection that helps love grow and the kind that slowly suffocates it. I learned that the hard way. The first time I felt the distance between us, it was like waking up from a dream. I remember the day clearly. It was an ordinary Tuesday. We were sitting in the kitchen, you sipping your coffee, me absent-mindedly scrolling through my phone. And for the first time in a long time, I felt lonely. You were there, physically present, but emotionally, we were miles apart. It wasn't that you said anything wrong, it was the silence, the space between us. The words that used to come easily now felt forced, like we were trying to fill the air with noise to avoid acknowledging the truth that was starting to settle between us. I tried to ignore it, but ignoring it only made it worse. We both did, I think. We kept going through the motions, pretending everything was fine, even though deep down, we both knew it wasn't. I found myself longing for the moments we used to share, those late-night talks, the laughter that came so easily. But instead, I found myself pulling away, creating distance because it hurt too much to be close, when it felt like we were no longer the people we once were to each other. And then, there was the turning point, the moment when I realized that I couldn't keep pretending. It came in the form of a simple question. What are we doing? It wasn't a question you asked me, but one I asked myself, late at night when I couldn't sleep, when all the thoughts I'd been pushing away finally surfaced. What were we doing? Were we holding on because we were afraid of letting go, or because we genuinely wanted to be together? The answer was blurry, and that's when I knew. I knew that something inside me had started to change. Unloving you didn't happen in one dramatic moment. It happened in the quietest of moments. In the times when you reached for my hand, and I pulled away without even realizing it. In the conversations that felt more like obligations than exchanges. In the times when I look at you and realize I no longer knew what you were thinking, or what you wanted, or how we had become strangers. I began to pull away, little by little. I stopped reaching out. I stopped checking in with you the way I used to. I stopped asking about your day, not out of malice, but because it felt like a habit I no longer wanted to keep. I gave myself permission to care less. I stopped holding on to the hope that things would magically go back to the way they were. Because they wouldn't. And deep down, I knew that. I deleted the photos, but I didn't forget you. I unfollowed you on social media, but I still found myself checking your profile sometimes, even though I knew it was only going to hurt. I tried to move on, but it wasn't easy. How do you unlove someone who's been such an integral part of your life? How do you let go of someone who once felt like home, when every part of you still aches with the memory of them? The hardest part was accepting that unloving you didn't mean I stopped caring for you. It didn't mean I wanted bad things for you. In fact, I still wanted the best for you. I just couldn't keep living in the shadow of something that no longer fit. Unloving you didn't feel like I was abandoning you. It felt like I was finally choosing to let go of something that wasn't mine to hold anymore. And somewhere in the quiet moments, as I sifted through the memories, I realized I had found pieces of myself again. I had become someone I had forgotten,